clean my room today.
It's just a tidbit messy.
I mean, when you have 11 people in your household, you can really only do laundry once a month.
I did laundry for the first time in 2 weeks. I have a lot of towels. And I have to pay for mine. The place I wanted to get into, which is like across the way, is an 8-month waiting list.
Jesus.
For Section 8 apartments, my guy.
Hello, everyone. Hello! Welcome back to Anime Church. Did you miss us? It's only been a week, but it feels like forever. And how, I want to say Logan? All right, anyway. Hi, guys. We got a lot of news to talk about. Holy cow, we got a lot of news. But I kind of figured that was the point going on. Because we have San Diego ComicCon going on right now. Seriously? Ray just messaged me, scene 13 of Konosuba is going up now. And I'm like, not while I'm streaming, damn it. Found some shots for Veldora that you think will work for it. With that, we now have drafts of each scene for the episode. No, scene 2 is not technically done. Anyhow, I don't need to talk about that. Yeah, Anime Church. Hi, guys. We're Anime Church. Before we go and introduce ourselves and do our normal Anime Church thing, I want to remind you to do your duty for Fat Dog Studios and go watch Solo Leveling Abridged, which dropped yesterday. We are so glad for the support that we've already gotten, but of course, we got to fight that algorithm, so make sure to go watch it, leave a like or a dislike. It doesn't matter. We can't see those anymore, so who cares? And leave us a comment. Even the comments that make me roll my eyes the hardest, like asking for Menu to show up and be the voice of the pop-ups, the system.
The interface.
That's not going to happen, but you can leave that stupid comment if you want. You're an idiot, and there's a reason why we call you Dave. But yeah, you can do that. I'm also going to start responding, and not in the most positive of ways, to people who just call this a glorified fan dub and say that this isn't truly abridged because it doesn't contain enough humor. It's like, you don't get to decide what is and isn't an abridged. You're not the internet police. You don't get to armchair commentate. Like, if you haven't created anything, yes, this is a rant. This is a rant. We're starting with a rant because we've got lots of other news to get to. Silence, honey. I'm defending you. But don't sit there and armchair talk to us when you haven't even gone out and tried to make something yourself. You don't get to decide what counts as abridged. Technically, the definition of abridged means a shortening of something. And considering that the original episode was 24 minutes long and this is only 15, and we've thrown in some jokes that did not exist in there, and we've completely rearranged the dialogue, but somehow, I don't know, we took the Team 4-star approach and just didn't fuck with the overall continuity of the show because we like the original show and want to highlight it. Yeah. It's technically an abridged. It doesn't have to have jokes and stuff in it to be an abridged. So long as you kind of shorten down this plot, you're basically summarizing or making a synopsis with video for, well, technically you don't even need video, for an abridged version of something. Abridged just means shortening. It doesn't mean it has to be funny. It doesn't mean that you have to change X percentage of it, whatever arbitrary number some people seem to have in their heads. Guys, I'm not just defending this work. I'm defending like so much work on Fat Dog where I have seen that comment over and over. It's been 8 years. Get over yourselves. You're not that. If you're not a creative, I don't want to hear it for you. Like, I don't want to hear it from you. Don't armchair Monday morning quarterback me. Shut the fuck up. Like, if you're not doing this and you haven't gone through the panic of going, we need to be able to tell our own story, but also at the same time, we want to at least kind of stay true to the original because we like the original and we don't want to stray too far away from it. If you're thinking that every abridged has to act like Nun Piece or Code Ment, those are abridgements. Those are ments. They're not abridged. They're abridgements. There's a difference between a ment and an abridged. Here endeth the lesson. I hope some of you learned something. Anyhow, yeah, I get really annoyed when I see that. Even if it's not on my own projects, I get really annoyed by that. Rant over. Though yes, I do have a personal vendetta in this, considering that three of us are all in this project. I have one dumb line about coffee. I'm not defending that line. It's really silly. But we have a lot of pride in our work, and you know what? If you come around and you just talk shit, I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna defend it quite viciously. And that's okay. You only have 2 weeks of me doing this, and then I'm going to go away and fuck off because I can only take so much negativity from the internet in the comment section on YouTube. That's why I typically don't comment, because like YouTube comments are vitriol. But you know what? I welcome your hatred. Bring it. It just feeds the algorithm. Talk all the shit you want about solo leveling. It's not like I'm going to care in 2 weeks. And keep feeding that algorithm. So haters gonna hate.
And that's right, Phoenix. Knowledge is half the battle. The other half is extreme violence.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta wake up and just go blow up some Cobra bases, man. All right, so
Cobra.
All right, Skinny Dude. I'm glad that you're excited about that. We're not talking about any of the anime that we're reviewing until the end of the show. So save your comments for the Slime episode, or the Oshi No Ko episode, or the Tower of God episode till the end of the show. Just that's where we're going to talk about it. That's when we'll discuss it. All right. So now that we plug solo leveling, which is our civic duty, we are now going to actually start the show. Hi. Welcome to Anime Church. We don't judge you based on what you wear, what kind of clothing you decide to walk into this church with. We will, however, judge you based on what kind of shitty comments you leave on our channel. I have to watch SLA still.
Damn it, Rick!
What is SLA?
Solo leveling abridged.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I hadn't shortened it to SLA yet. Too many something A's.
Does that mean we can start calling it Slay?
No.
Yes.
No.
Slay.
No. We're calling it solo. We're calling it solo leveling. That's it. We're just calling it solo leveling.
Damn it, Moon.
None of us call shield SHA. We don't have some arbitrary fucking nonsensical amalgamation of letters for slime. We just call it slime. No.
The shot slide.
Hold on. No, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Shield could be Sha. Like Sha.
Good night, everybody.
We have Sha and Slay.
Okay, ending the
Let's go.
stream now.
Ethan's running with it. The slush slide.
I hate you guys. I hate you so much. I hate it. Like, I did actually end the stream for like 1 second. I hate you guys. Y'all suck. We were just trying to do introductions. All right, anyhow. So, now that that's all been covered, hi, I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology. I wish I was the Minister of Silence. I could cast silence on both of you.
Never gonna work.
Yeah. I did the science and technology bit. It's your turn.
I'm Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology, and apparently pissing Richie off. Praise
Wake
Arceus.
the fuck up.
And I am Fenner Siren, your patron saint to snackos and alcohol. I'm also
Yeah.
apparently really good at pissing Richie off.
Apparently, it doesn't take much. Damn my bipolar meds no longer being here. Need to renew them.
Oh.
That's a big portion of what's going on. I haven't had bipolar medication or my mood stabilizers in like over a week. So it's all faded out now. So it's kind of easier to set me off. So anyhow, yeah, welcome to Anime Church. Guys, we have a lot to talk about. We have so much to talk about. I'm so tempted to just type it, Ray. Not now, bitch. I'm busy. Because like on the one hand, I'm very glad that stuff is getting done this quickly on Konosuba, but on the other hand, really, Right now, out of all the time of today, you had to pick the time that we're doing the stream. All right. So let's start off with the sad news for season 2 of One Piece. Should we just rip the Band-Aid off on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sadly, Jamie Lee Curtis is not going to be in the live-action One Piece playing Dr. Koreha. Now, before anybody grabs your pitchforks and your torches, because I know you got them, I've seen this mob. It wasn't because people didn't want this to happen. Jamie Lee Curtis absolutely wanted it to happen. The crew, the casting directors, everybody wanted it to happen. The problem was Jamie Lee Curtis is doing too much shit right now, and she's way too busy at the moment, so they could not find a time for their schedules to line up for her to actually do this. Now, that doesn't mean that she could not potentially hold a role in One Piece later, and it is a little sad that she won't be there with Chopper. But, yeah, it's a scheduling issue, and it's kind of out of everybody's hands. So, while everybody wanted this to happen, it unfortunately isn't due to scheduling conflicts. So, I think everybody can put their pitchforks down, and you have a Walmart machete. We're not going to talk about Deadpool 3 much. We're not. I still haven't seen it.
Same.
I was supposed to go see it on Friday, but unfortunately, due to financial reasons, I could not. And so I'm waiting until Thursday, and then I'm going to go see it. Now, I'm going to talk about 2 things that I know about from the movie. Fenris has confirmed that these do exist. Well, I've seen one of them, so I know. And the one that I do know about that I did get spoiled is just a cameo that has nothing to do with plot. I just thought it was really cool. So we'll talk about that real quick. Guys, Deadpool is on track to make over $450 million in box office opening, making it the highest grossing opening for an R-rated movie ever. Yeah. The highest box office for an R-rated movie. Now, here's the non-spoilery bit. I know about one cameo in this motherfucker, and apparently, according to sources on the internet and confirmation from Fenris here, there is a montage of Deadpool going to different worlds in the multiverse and finding different Wolverines, and he ends up in one of them, and the Wolverine is played by Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Deadpool
That's
had the
awesome.
same reaction. He was like, it's the legendary Cavalrine. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm here for it. That's so stupid. I love it. It was sexy AF. Yeah. And there were already jokes made about, hey, we'll treat you right. We're not like those fuck sticks over across the street or whatever. Throwing shade at Disney. I still think the best DC insult that he's thrown out has been the whole just the Deadpool 2 who's like, dubsteps for pussies. So dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe? That's still the best dig. The I'm Batman. That's also good, but like, yeah. Good stuff there. I'm having fun. Don't say anything about the movie. I don't want to know. I want to go in as blind as possible.
Oh. So this is something outside the movie that both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have stated.
Uh-huh.
If they continue this trend with adding superheroes,
Yeah,
they want to add Tom
They want to
Holland.
add Tom. They want Tom to join them so that they can pick on him.
Yay!
So we get Deadpool, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. I need this in my life.
Yes, we do.
We do. We so need this.
I'd even love it if it was Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Just like,
No,
It would be
no,
even better
the
than
next-
Tobey Maguire. What do you
the
mean?
next three-person Spider-Man team up is all of them in Deadpool, and then Deadpool literally trying to fucking like lose his shit and choose which Spider-Man he wants most.
Ethan, we'll be talking about that here in
We
a
will
little
talk.
bit.
We will be talking about ComicCon, guys. We will be talking about ComicCon. We have to cover that. We do. But let's get to stories in order of things. All right, so we did the One Piece stuff, got that out of the way. Okay, so technically DC did some stuff right before Comic-Con. They dropped a lot of their big stuff right before Comic-Con. We got Joker 2. I'm Joker 2 Electric Boogaloo is what I'm calling it. I don't know how to pronounce that. I cannot.
Probably I do.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Folie à deux.
bless you. But you need to go to the bathroom for that kind of thing. You don't do here. Anyway. Yeah, see, bad jokes. All the bad jokes came from me. Anyway. Yeah, this looked good. This was a proper official trailer, not a teaser. This looked really interesting. I still don't fully know what's going on because I don't know what's a dream sequence, what's just crazy stuff going on, or because like that whole thing. I'm sorry, spoiler, but like not spoiler because the first Joker's been out for a while. Turns out that Arthur Fleck's quote unquote girlfriend, played by Zazie Beetz, wasn't even there. Like he was imagining her the whole. Oh, we had a disconnect and a reconnect, like all in one go. Yeah, OBS has been doing some messed up stuff since it updated. I probably should have kept the previous version that was pretty stable, but yeah. Because my internet is fine. It's just OBS is having problems. You know, welcome to Fat Dog. We don't exist without technical difficulties. Alrighty. So, next up, going from one part of the Batman universe to the other, we had. Oh, did you guys want to give your opinions on the trailer? I'm so sorry.
Like, I'm still so
Yeah,
confused.
just talk right over us. God.
This makes up for all the bullshit you guys were saying in the beginning. See, I get my revenge. Yeah. Did y'all, other than that, anything you wanted to add to the Joker trailer? I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Lady Gaga does as Harley Quinzel and Harley Quinn. It is a very different take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very different take. Alrighty, so
which I think is okay because we've only really had the one take of Harley. What's her name? Margot Robbie did a really good job as Harley later on, but her first rendition, I feel like she was trying to emulate animated Harley a little too much. But later in the later movies after Suicide Squad,
more
I felt
comics,
better.
more comics oriented stuff. So, like the Harley Quinn that she's playing is more from the comics than the animated series. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Either
way,
see. I mean,
Margot
it's all
Robbie
going to
did a
get
wonderful
paired.
job. I'm not
It's
trying
all
to
going to
put her
get
down,
compared to the animated series because that's where the character started. What about Kaylee Cuoco?
Kaylee.
She's doing the Harley Quinn series. It's all the way to season 5 now.
Oh, that I've seen clips of that. She's also really good.
Yeah,
I haven't
there's
watched the
really
full
good
series,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
I want to.
Which, okay, I'm going to plug this. Not sponsored or anything. I just thought it's neat information to share. There is now a new streaming bundle package. If you want to do the ad-free version, you can get Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max for $30. If you want to do the ad version, it's paid with ads, which is the dumbest thing. Like, why are we having to make a paid subscription and then still watch ads? That's dumb. But for all three of those, it's $19.99, and for the without ads, it's $29.99. I'm thinking about doing it since I already pay for Disney Plus anyway, and I want to get Max, so I'd just be basically paying for the two anyway, but I could do it bundled. I don't even use Hulu, but whatever. Moving from one Batman to another, let's talk about the Penguin. Dude, this looks good. This is back to like early. Wait, what? Is the stream still up? Or is YouTube just being okay? Connecting streaming software. Okay.
It's still up from what I see.
It's still up. Okay, cool. It's just got the thing on it, and it's giving me the swirly donut. So,
yep.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so somebody said yes. I am getting like the worst kilobits right now, though. I don't know why. OBS is
probably just OBS being stupid.
OBS is giving me like
Probably.
500 kilobytes per second. or kilobits per second. Yeah, in the 400 to 500 range. Like it's really, really bad. Oh wow, yeah. I'm usually at around the 2000s, the 2 to 3000s. So okay, let's see. Yeah, it's doing very, very poorly. Yes, you see, yes. I mean, the lag in that alone is insane. All right. Yeah, I'm starting to get worried because this did not happen before. Like I had steady, constant stuff. And you guys are getting me fine. I'm having no internet issues. It's just OBS is being weird. So, yeah, man. This is a little scary. It has nothing to do with menu. All right. So the Joker trailer that came out looks really good. We're getting that gritty crime drama family stuff. Also, I was wondering who was playing Sophia Falcone. I was like, who is that? Who is that? And then I was like, oh my God, it's the mom from How I Met Your Mother. And I got to say, she does a really good job playing a villain. I think OBS just died. It was at 3 kilobytes and now it's at 0. Now it's at 1700. OBS, make up your damn mind. What are you doing? I should never have updated this.
No.
I can't go back to the previous version either.
You might be able to download a previous version off their website.
I do not. God, I should have given it a couple of weeks before I switched over because let them get all the bugs out. Like, what the heck is going on, guys? Am I able to? Are we able to be seen and heard cleanly? Because I'm imagining not. Considering.
Which version OBS are you on right now?
30.2.2.
Okay. Let's see if I can find any of the others.
Yeah, because I did not have these problems. I was steady in the green the whole time, and now I'm mostly in the red almost the entire time. There we go. Back to 0 kilobits per second. Dude, what the frick, my guy? I mean, it's only using 3% of my CPU. It's not a CPU issue. Yeah. I'm doing 30 FPS. This is kind of ridiculous, my guy. Every now and then you lag, but you can hear us. Well, that's OBS being dumb. That's not on this end. I got to refresh about once a minute. Jesus. Yeah, that should not be happening. It's something to do with OBS. Like it should be in a much more improved kilobit rate. I don't know why it's doing this. Kilobits per second. KBPS issues with OBS 30 point. Let's see, what is it? It's 30.2.2. Things to consider when troubleshooting bitrate issues. OBS recommends 4,000 kilobytes per second for streaming in full HD at 30 FPS, which is what I think I'm doing. Settings. Stream output. Yeah, I'm at 5,000 kilobytes. They recommend 4. I'm at 5,000, and it's just not. It's not doing, man. Because my system can handle it. I don't know why it's just. When streaming, I'm at. Yeah. I mean, I could go back down to 4. We'll see if that helps. I don't think it will. But yeah, if the stream is going to be messed up and laggy, that does not help. Yeah, I'm down to 0 kilobits again. I mean, it's not saying that I dropped any frames. Dude, this is so annoying. I hate that I did this.
Don't
Oh, good. I
fucking
thought it was
open a
me that was a
computer.
bit laggy. No, it's OBS in general. Like, I'm in the hundreds most of the time right now. I'm supposed to be in the thousands. This is a bit of silliness. I think when you stopped and restarted streaming, it caused the lag. No, I don't think it did. But I mean, we could try. We could try again. I can stop and restart. Okay. I'm back in the thousands and back down to the 400s. Yeah, that's not... I don't think that's the issue here. Is there a thing where this is happening? Like, can you... Okay, the most common issues are the ISP network failing at some point of itself. What?
Do you remember the previous version you had?
Yeah.
Was it 30.2.1 or 30.2?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just remember it worked like it was supposed to.
Here, I'm going to get you download for 30.2.
Okay. I'll have to do it later. Can't keep doing it now. All right. It looks like it's at least staying in the green for now. Hasn't dropped back down to like the double digits. It stayed in the triple and quadruple digits. It's just not doing that great at the
I'm
moment.
going to send you the link to it.
Let's not worry. Let's do that after the show.
Well, I'm just going to send you the link now before I forget.
Okay. Well, I'm going to bed immediately after the show, so it's not happening anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. So at least then you'll
Yeah.
have the link and do it at
All
your
right.
leisure.
So the mob drama that is the Penguin. We got that trailer. Did you guys watch that?
Yes, Colin Farrell is super fucking Irish.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, yeah, when he's introducing it, and then like
Yes.
immediately, where's Colin Farrell? Because it's just the Penguin.
Exactly.
Oswald.
Yeah, it's hard to tell under all that fucking makeup.
Oh no, it's not the makeup. It's everything. The whole character, like he puts on the character. He's that character. Like, yeah, it's not just the makeup. Because there's plenty of times
Very
where he's been covered in makeup and you can kind of still see Colin Farrell in there. This time you don't. You just don't. It's so good. But yeah, any thoughts, comments, feelings about this trailer?
This is something superhero related that I will actually enjoy watching by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. And this is a series, by the way. This isn't a movie. This is a
Yes.
series.
Thankfully, I can bug my dad to get his Max login.
All right. Let's see. Next up, if we don't have anything else to say, I just really enjoyed this. This is right up my alley. It is the alley, crime alley. All right. Anyway, so this is definitely in my wheelhouse. I really am enjoying all the trailers that dropped this week. I actually found good, which was surprising for one of them. But for the Penguin, I was like, yeah, absolutely, because once you've seen Matt Reeves' The Batman, the 2022 The Batman, which was very gritty and grounded, even more so than like the Dark Knight trilogy. Like this definitely was a lived in Gotham. Like holy crap, it was so good. If you've seen it, if you've seen this and your immediate thought is not more, please, there's something wrong with you. Alrighty. moving on to the next thing. The Borderlands trailer. We got the Borderlands final trailer. This one actually looked interesting, as opposed to the last one, which was just like, I had way too many questions, and maybe at this point I'm just over it, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It looked fun. That's about it. Didn't look Borderlands, but it looked fun. And I guess I'm not going to go to the theater and watch it. I'm going to wait till it comes out streaming, and then I'll watch it. But I mean, it was remarkably better than the first trailer for me. I don't know a lot of Borderlands fans that are super hyped for this movie, but they are going to go watch it to just support Borderlands. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, if you didn't show up for the Dungeons and Dragons movie,
That was a good movie, though.
which was a fucking fantastic movie, because you were all up in arms about what Hasbro was doing, don't reward Take-Two for this bullshit. This is a flat out cash grab. That's why there's so many big names attached to it. The only person in this movie that legit I was interested in was the girl that's playing Tiny Tina, because she was Little Gamora in Infinity War, and she was Ahsoka in she was like little Padawan Ahsoka in the flashback in the Ahsoka series. So she was the live action version of Ahsoka that we saw fighting against Hayden Christensen at one point, which was pretty darn cool. Any other thoughts on this trailer before we move on? We got a lot to cover, so I understand if you don't want to.
Definitely better than the second trailer that had like the second half of it just Jack Black shitting out bullet casings.
That's the other thing. Like, I'm actually looking forward to Jack Black as Claptrap. Like, I understand the legal reasons why the original voice of Claptrap couldn't be there. I understand that. So, like, yeah, I get it. The original voice of Claptrap and like the guy that's in charge of the studio that makes Borderlands had a bit of a fracas, to say the least. That's the nicest, politest way to put it. You thought it was Borderlands-ish. Yeah, that's a good description for it. Borderlands-ish. But yeah, there we go. We are finally here. Oh gosh, guys, we already have our first reaction to Solo Leveling.
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw that notification. Alrighty. So moving on then from Borderlands. Okay, gotta talk about this. This was so good. This was so much fun. And it felt like old school Transformers. We're talking about Transformers 1, everybody. I like the fact that we get OG Megatron, finally. That form of Megatron. It's like the other live actions couldn't figure out what Megatron was supposed to look like. And it's like, guys, it's not that complicated. You made Optimus Prime look like how he was supposed to. Why couldn't you do the same with Megatron? Like, they're like, oh, it's stupid. He turns into a gun. Then turn him into a fucking cannon, but keep the same look, you know?
Exactly.
Anyhow, also, the gun is supposed to be the gun that he turns into is supposed to be the size that a Transformer could hold. That's a big ass gun. That's a big ass gun, my guy. All right. So, yeah. The one nitpick that I know Transformers fans have is that it's no longer Peter Cullen as Optimus. And it's like, yeah, but he's retired, so we're going to have to deal with that. I get it. I feel you. But I don't think that Chris Hemsworth is doing a bad job. I like this. And
Plus,
honestly,
it's younger.
Yeah.
It's
And
younger.
this seems fun. Like, I'm sorry, this is the first Transformers movie to have come out in the quasi live action realm ever. Like, the Michael Bay stuff did not come close. And I'm not hating on Michael Bay and his iteration of Transformers. I like the first two, you know. I thought the first two were pretty good. I think it should have stopped and ended there, but I mean that's just me. Yeah. But I grew up with Transformers, and it was nice to actually hear the theme song in there at the end. So definitely hitting that old school feel. It feels like the Gen 1 Transformers. Like it definitely feels that way. And we got there was so much just fun vibes in this trailer. I really enjoyed this. Your thoughts, guys?
The first half seemed like a pure comedy, like a good bromance, and then it turns dark. And then after the credits is, typical slapshot humor, which is always welcome.
Which is absolutely welcome, and it makes sense for where those characters are at. But also the fact they're like, hey, by the way, there's stakes here, and you should get to know them. Also, I forget what they're called, but the squid looking things with the 5 faces that were in charge of Cybertron during the origins of Megatron and Optimus. Yeah, those things coming back.
I'm just gonna call them the Squidicons.
Squidicons. I know they're not the original creators of Cybertron, but they tried to make the Transformers believe they were. Anyhow, yeah. Got some really, really good trailers this week. And this is all stuff that dropped before ComicCon. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to have to take a step back and tell you some serious news before we jump into the rest of it. I do want to know, have you guys watched the not the next topic, but the story coming up right afterwards, the best Hot Ones episode ever? Did you guys watch that?
Yes, I have.
I got through most of it.
All right, that's good enough. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the voiceover industry. Care to enlighten us?
So, if you're looking forward to a localization or any video game coming out anytime in the near future, you're going to be holding your breath and waiting for a long time. SAG-AFTRA National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator Duncan Crabtree Ireland. Why did I have to say Hill? God damn it.
I'm
not even drunk yet. I'm not even drunk yet. That's the problem. Acting under the authority delegated by the SAG-AFTRA National Board and with the unanimous advice and counsel of the Interactive Media Agreement Negotiating Committee, called a strike of the Interactive Media Agreement affixed, which was 2 days ago at 12:01 a.m.
There's a lot of jargon. Sum it up.
Basically, there is no... the whole strikes that happened last year, part of it was coming back to work under the guise of, we're going to basically work on AI protection, and under the assumption...
Discord dropped and started back up again. Yay! So fun when Discord keeps just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Yep, I'm down to okay. There's 71 kilobits.
Did
zero.
you, like, switch to my internet or something? Or
no, it's not internet. It's not internet. It's OBS. It's not
OBS
the
being
internet.
Fucking OBS. So glad I don't update OBS on a regular basis.
I usually don't. All the thing pop up, and I was like, I don't want this popping up all the freaking time. There it goes, back to 0 kilobits. This is just fucking terrible, guys.
I mean, I'd offer to host it, but I can't because I don't have keys.
I can give you the keys, but also you don't have the full setup that I use, I don't think.
No, I don't have anything for it.
Yeah, see, you couldn't do it.
At least to just talk like we are now on camera. That's something I could throw together.
Yeah, but you'd need more than that. You'd need the link to the socials, separate Discord video, all that stuff. Because you said you don't have more than one monitor, right? Jesus, you don't have to turn it around. Also, what the frick? It went up to 7,000 kilobytes a second.
I have 4.
Okay, well, all you had to say was that. You don't have to turn the camera around. I'll fucking believe you. All right, we're now sitting at 2,000 kilobits, 3,000. But it was at 7 for a second. Jesus. All right, so we're going to try and get this going while we still have a chance. But yes, as voice actors, we 100% respect and encourage this strike. And not like I was getting game stuff anyway. So, yeah.
A couple quotes and statements from some prominent SAG members and that. From SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher, we're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough. When these companies get serious about offering an agreement our members can live and work with, we will be here ready to negotiate. Interactive Media Agreement Negotiating Committee Chair, Sarah, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, quoted, 18 months of negotiations have shown us that our employers are not interested in fair, reasonable AI protections, but rather flagrant exploitations. We refuse this paradigm. We will not leave any of our members behind, nor will we wait for sufficient protection any longer. We look forward to collaborating with teams on our interim and independent contracts, which provide AI transparency, consent, and compensation to all performers, and to continuing to negotiate in good faith with this bargaining group when they are ready to join us in the world we all deserve.
Sounds like a bunch of independent stuff is about to get a boom. Well.
Are you really drinking goldfish?
Fuck you, I do what I want. Anyhow. You know who this is going to hurt the most? Live service games. That's who it's going to hurt the most. Any live service game that uses voiceover just took a big hit. If they have story expansions and stuff, that's going to suck. Helldivers might be fine. First Descendant might be fine. Destiny's screwed.
Oh, yeah. Destiny's still owned by Microsoft, right?
Nope. Worse. Sony. So there you go. Technically, Bungie is... Destiny is owned by Bungie. Bungie is owned by Sony.
I keep getting it fucking mixed up. To me, all these giant-ass fucking companies are the same.
I'm sure
Aside
many of
from
those
Nintendo.
companies...
Because at least Nintendo has decent playing cards.
No, Nintendo's still just as bad. Clearly, you've never dealt with Nintendo copyright.
I've heard the horror stories.
All right. So... So yeah, that's what's going on with the voiceover actors. We're all on strike from video games. From video games. Let's clear that up. Still very much doing animation and online content, just not your big triple party video game companies. And we're still working with independent contractors who do gaming content for independent games and offer fair AI
and transparent AI protections in their contract.
Transparent and robust AI protection. All right.
And that's going to free up my time for the foreseeable future. I don't have to put out nearly as many auditions now.
All right. Next up, let's talk about the best episode of Hot Ones to have come out yet. Guys, if you haven't seen it, newest episode of Hot Ones had Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman together eating spicy hot wings, and there is nothing funnier than watching Hugh just slowly fall into madness and realizing that he's taking too big, his bites are too big, and it's just the sauces are hitting Hugh the hardest. He's having trouble with the early game stuff. And then Ryan just being Ryan and constantly plugging the Hot Ones barbacoa.
And just the fact that Ryan had it right. The more he talked, the more air he took in through his mouth helped cool it down enough for it to be bearable.
It was
Versus
so
he was
funny.
just sitting there like silent, like anguish. You can see the tears roll down his cheeks a couple times.
And the funniest part of all, on Wing 10, instead of doing the last dab, they dabbed more of the bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I missed like the last 5 minutes of it.
Oh.
I'm gonna skip ahead and see that.
Right. If you've ever wanted to see Hugh Jackman just melt down, this is the perfect one. And once again, Sean asking questions of fans, and they're going, how do you know about this? Sean's research is impeccable, my guy. Comments, gentlemen?
Okay, go ahead, man.
I really enjoy how they act like they're at odds at each other's throats and everything, and like a whole bunch of media, and then in stuff like this, and when you actually see them together, they're just so sweethearts to each other. It's so wonderful.
Well,
They're like the best of friends.
as it turns out, something we didn't know, Hugh was actually behind the scenes backstage during the Deadpool trailer, or the Deadpool panel at ComicCon back in 2015. And he's the one that made them play the trailer again because everybody was like losing their shit. So behind the scenes, how they have each other's backs is just great. I love it. So there's that. Hey, there was a lot of good stuff. Guys, if you have not seen this episode of Hot Ones, or you've never seen a Hot Ones in general, highly encourage you to check it out. It is probably the best thing you could do with your time is watch a bunch of celebrities eat increasingly hotter chicken wings and just slowly lose it and try to answer these questions that they've been prepared. They're like, oh yeah, I do the circuit. I can. It's like, nah, when they've got that scorching hot sauce running through them, all that preparedness, all that stuff that they could go through, that goes out the window. Is the most honest moment you have ever seen in their lives. But yeah, it's great. It's great, man. All right. It's time to turn our eyes to San Diego Comic-Con, which is still going on, by the way, right now. So first off, we had the Alien Romulus panel with the cast. And one of the questions that got asked of the director is, do they have nightmares? Because the trailers were so filled with horror. And so many facehuggers, they were like, do you have nightmares about facehuggers? And he was like, yes. And he was like, no, don't laugh. It's real. But, and then they brought out,
because, like,
and then they brought out the practical facehuggers that are actually, they have legs that move independently and everything as they skitter across the ground. And literally the lights went out, came back on. The person that asked the question was on the ground with a face hugger on his face. The director was on the ground with a face hugger on their face. And then one of the actors actually got up and was like, and then spit up bile. And then the little alien popped out of his chest with the blood and everything. That was so cool. They're really going in on the effects, man. That was so cool to just kind of show off that we're doing it all practical, bitches. Oh man, that had to. If you're a fan of the Alien franchise, that had to be one hell of a moment for you guys. And like everything else, it's linked in the description so you guys can go and watch them. All the stories that we talk about, we put our sources in the description every freaking episode just for you. Thank you guys. Or we're skipping ads. We're skipping ads. Seen a cold one, not a hot one. Dr. Faust. All right. What were your thoughts on this panel? Anybody who saw it?
Looks so good. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool. Those things are amazing.
Okay. Who
I
wants
agree.
to talk about
Crunch,
the
crunch.
Marvel panel?
It's just fun watching everybody lose their absolute minds for a moment.
Mm.
Do either of you know the big highlight? No, I know you do because I talked to you about it, Fenris.
Not really.
I knew this was going to happen because San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm like, bruh, I had to talk about it. All right. So let's start with the beginning of the panel. There's an alien movie? Yeah, Dr. Faust, there's a new alien movie coming out, Alien Romulus. It takes place between the first and the second movie. The Marvel panel. You're hype. All right, let's not jump right to the end, Andrew. Let's not jump to the end. Let's start at the beginning. Okay. So this panel started with a choir. A big-ass choir. Moon. All right. Look here, I need you to focus, my guy. I know you're dealing with stuff, but like this is the big San Diego Marvel event. It's the one that is gonna be the most hypey. So let's focus for a sec. Also, I'm trying to get your head away from anything that may not be fun at the moment. So let's focus on the fun. I know it's difficult sometimes. I know. But for like the next 5 to 10 minutes, let's have a happy time. All right, so it starts off with a big choir, and they're all singing the Like a Prayer song from all the Deadpool trailers and stuff like that. Also, Fenris, you want to go ahead and tell them about the opening? It's not spoilery in any way. It's just really funny. Go ahead and tell them about the opening sequence. Tell them what it is.
Which one for
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, yes. You like NSYNC, right, Moon?
I love NSYNC.
Have you ever wanted to see Deadpool dance to the Bye 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 sound? Or the music song? Words,
The
art,
music
Oh,
video?
God.
Okay.
Deadpool dancing to Bye 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 with it playing in the background and him killing a bunch of people.
That's how it opens.
Oh, that's
That's-
gonna be amazing.
That's how it opens.
Hold on. With an adamantium skeleton from a long deceased Wolverine.
Yes.
Literally pulls a rib bone off of the adamantium skeleton to kill someone with.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
He
This
just
is a
goes through and
this is a buddy movie.
dismantles Wolverine bit by bit,
Yeah.
using him to kill people.
So there we go. All right, so they have like this big choir that sings like a prayer. Meanwhile, every iteration of Deadpool you can think of is dressed up. They have different ones, including not Spider-Man, Peter Pool. This is the difference, okay? Because it's Peter W. from the second Deadpool movie. All right? And it turns out the guy that played Peter W. is the one hosting the Marvel panel, which makes it extra good. That's how the whole thing starts. Then we move on to Captain America Brave New World. And we bring out the cast and crew. We talk a bit about that. There's some footage that is shown. And from the stuff that I've heard, there is a new island because they show like a clip from the movie. there is an island that they have recently dubbed Celestial Island. It's where the Celestial Tiamat rose up in Eternal. So we're finally addressing that, thank God. And the president mentions the A word. Ah, dang it. Hang on. I gotta... What is playing? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Damn you, Crunchyroll! I didn't say you could do that. Anytime my screens refresh, Crunchyroll just starts auto-playing whatever video it had. All right. So they mentioned the A word. Adamantium is now finally introduced into the MCU. And they're saying that adamantium is coming from Tiamat, which makes a lot of sense because he would be... This is something we've been theorizing for a bit. But yeah, cast and crew came out and talked a bit, and then we finally got to find out who Giancarlo Esposito is playing. And then, of course, we got Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford showed up. And he just looked like he was having fun. They talked a little bit about Red Hulk, and he just went, ah. It's funny to see Harrison Ford do that. And they were like, They also asked the question, you've played a president before. What's the difference between this one and that one? I was hoping he was going to make the joke of, well, this time I finally got off the plane. Get off my plane. All right. But yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Then we moved on to the next thing, which was the Thunderbolts, which honestly I thought that was really, really cute because everybody shows up and the last one to be introduced is David. David Harbour played Red Guardian in the Black Widow movie. He doesn't come out. They call his name again. He doesn't come out. He's at the back of Hall H, full costume with a microphone, as the character of Red Guardian, talking. He gets close to the stage, sees everybody standing there, and goes, guys, why aren't you in your costumes? Guys, this is really awkward. It just starts going off about how dejected he feels. He was like, y'all responded to the email and everything. He's like, and none of you dressed up except for Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who, of course, gets to play a character that wears like fancy normal clothes. So he was like, at least Julia did. Thank you, Julia. It was like, my own daughter. Just walks off, but he comes back on with regular clothes later. It was really, really funny. So very heartwarming that. It just seems like a lot of fun. They did confirm that Thunderbolts has nothing to do with Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. It's just back in the day, they used a lot of similar names in comics. Mm-hmm. And yeah. Then, okay, so there was no talk about Blade. And just to go ahead and put that out there. There was no talk about Blade this year. Next up, we get the Fantastic Four. The director comes out, talks for a bit, and then they go, oh, yeah, here's the surprise. We actually did bring the cast. They were there for like a day, and I think they flew back to the UK to continue filming because they're in the process of filming this movie. Also, they had the hover car, so the hover car is actually going to be in this, and they had like a big floating Fantastic Four hover car balloon that went over and all sorts of stuff, and they showed kind of a quick tease of it. And from what I've garnered from this is taking place in an alternate universe in a futuristic 60s era. And it sounds like they are potentially already, Sue and Reed are already together, like properly together. They're like, we're a family. It's like, okay, cool. Not metaphorically family. Seems that Sue and Reed are in fact already married. And there was a tease of Galactus, the planet-eating monster himself. And I'm like, yes, let's do that. Then they announced two new, they announced the two Avengers titles. The logo has had a color change for Avengers, Secret Wars, and then a complete change in title for what was Avengers Kang Dynasty is now Avengers Doomsday. So we are getting Victor Von Doom in that film, which is, I think, coming out next year. I'm not 100% sure. It could be 2025, 2026. I don't know the timelines for all this stuff. But the big news there is that Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, are back to direct and helm both Avengers movies. That's big, big news because obviously, if you remember, they did some of the bigger projects. They did Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War. Then they did Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, the two most beloved movies of the Thanos saga or the Infinity War saga. And they definitely have a handle on, okay, so Doomsday is 2026 and potentially 2027 to 2028 for Secret Wars. I would love it if Secret Wars is done in 2 parts as well. That'd be pretty cool. But they announced, and it's the thing that everybody's talking about, so you can't avoid that spoiler. They announced their Victor Von Doom, which, from my understanding right now, is an alternate reality version of Victor Von Doom. This is not the true Victor Von Doom of the main MCU. This is just part of that multiverse timeline. This Victor Von Doom is being played by Robert Downey Jr. Take that for what you will. This set the internet ablaze, and it has gotten people hyped for the MCU again. I mean, just bringing the Russos back to helm the Avengers films is going to very much bring that into the fore. Thunderbolts comes out next year. That's what it was. Thunderbolts next year. Alrighty. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think that the it's kind of weird to think that could everybody stop messaging me when I'm trying to stream, my guys? All right, so yeah, it's kind of weird to think that we only have one MCU movie this year, and it's just Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not complaining, but like at the same time, after being used to like 3 coming out a year, to only have one does feel a little odd. All right. That being said, I think it is time for us to move on finally to anime discussions, because we get that. Hoping it's Tony that became Victor Von Doom. It could be. Who knows? I don't necessarily know how they're doing this. It could be that way. All right. So next up in the anime block, there we go. Now, we lightly talked about this before, but yeah, the sentencing came down. So the manga creator, Neko Kurage, was handed down a suspended sentence for tax evasion on Wednesday. And Square Enix has decided is not considering canceling the Apothecary Diaries manga after the artist's sentencing. Now, this is the manga, not the light novel, because there is a light novel for this. The IT Media news site reported on Wednesday that Square Enix informed the news site that the company is not particularly considering canceling Neko Kurage's The Apothecary Diaries manga after she was handed down a suspended sentence on Wednesday. The Fukuoka District Court handed her... they gave her real name. Okay. A suspended sentence of 10 months in prison and a fine of 11 million yen, or about $70,600 for the crime of tax evasion on Wednesday. However, since the prison sentence is suspended for 3 years, if she remains on good behavior for 3 years, they will not serve time in prison. The prosecution has sought a sentence of 10 months in prison with a 14 million yen, or about $89,800 fine. Wait, was that 10? Oh, it was 10 months in prison, not 10 years. Sorry, 10 months. That's still a death sentence for a manga. Almost, yeah. The Fukuoka Regional Taxation Bureau indicted Neko Kurage on February 29th on suspicion of not declaring about 260 million yen, or about $1.6 million in income, and evading about 47 million yen, or $298,887 in taxes from 2019 to 2021, according to the National Tax Bureau. The tax evaded money, which includes income earned from manga sales, was used to purchase real estate. She pleaded guilty to tax evasion charges in the case's first hearing on May 31st, which we covered. During the hearing, she said that they had not intended to evade the tax payments, and they were planning to pay it all once later. She responded to the allegation in a post on Twitter on April 1st, claiming that they neglected their tax returns due to ignorance, and added that they paid the taxes and fees in full in 2022 as a result of not declaring the income after receiving instructions from the tax office. They also asked a tax accountant for assistance in filing proper tax returns. She clarified that the case is a personal matter that has nothing to do with the original author of the Apothecary Diaries light novel series or anyone else involved in the manga's creation. There we are. So, thoughts on this? Are you glad that it's being handled lenient? Do you think she should serve the full 10 years and pay, or 10 months and pay the full fine? Where do you land on this? I mean, let's also keep in mind that she has already paid the money back. So, where do you all fall on this?
I can't state where I fall on this without getting extremely political, and I'm not going to do that on here.
Oh, I would. Let's just talk about this case in general. I don't want to know your overall thought about the tax code or any of that stuff. Do you think that the commuted sentence or whatever that she's going through, of her being kind of on temporary probation, and if she's good, then they won't send her to jail? What are your thoughts on this particular situation? I don't need to know what your overall political tax beliefs are. I don't give a fuck what you think about income tax and all that other stuff. I too have my own opinions on taxes and where they should be going properly as opposed to wasteful spending, but we won't get into that.
I'll put it this way. There are worse things that she could have done or been charged for if she'd done them. So,
come on, guys, we're the channel that made Log Horizon Abridged. The light novel artist that created that got hit for tax evasion.
So I guess we have to
meme
do
about
an
this.
Apothecary Diaries abridged now.
No, we don't. I don't want to. I like Apothecary Diaries just the way it is. I don't want to fuck with it. All right.
Oh, but now I want to.
So at least she paid it back. I mean, that right there is the big thing.
Because she
She
paid it
got
back.
caught and she was like, "Ah, well."
Well, it's not got caught. Oh, well, she was like, yeah, I meant to do this earlier, but I don't know how to do my taxes. And so she finally got. Yeah, I meant to do this. Shit got out of hand. And if you've ever made a manga, you know that people don't have a lot of time. I mean
hell,
you could
look at Oshi No.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could look at Oshi No Ko and know that, or Bakuman. I'm always down to get people into that. All right. Next up, I added this because this one kind of felt like it was up your alley a little bit there, Fenris.
Honestly, I've never seen it. It's been on my watch list on Netflix forever and a day.
Well, now it's going to be on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, now I got to add it to my Crunchy list.
Go ahead.
So Crunchyroll is streaming the second season of Megaton Musashi. Wow, that is basically just nothing but background story after that title. There we go. The story takes place after 90% of humanity was wiped out due to an invasion. Survivors live in a shelter where their lives are monitored and memories of the invasion erased. 3 teenagers from the shelter are chosen to pilot 3 machines that combine to form the Musashi robot. Man, this sounds a lot like Aquarium. Maybe that's why I wanted to watch it. I don't remember why I added it. But yeah, it's all just basically a bunch of background on the article. Oh, they even launched a game for the PlayStation 5, 4, Switch, and PC on April 25th. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that game up now. Huh. Looks a lot like your typical mech game.
Is it a game?
The anime is streaming, but they released a game earlier this year.
Okay.
Gotcha. Speaking of games, apologies, I haven't been streaming this week. I got back into Cyberpunk, and I'm not streaming my Cyberpunk gameplay because I'm not turning the nudity filter on.
I mean, why would you?
Yeah. I will, however, turn the nudity filter on for Phantom Liberty. When I start Phantom Liberty, I will do that. But I am literally running a Lucy build from Edge Runners right now.
Nice.
Monowire hacking extraordinaire. I freaking love it. Where they're like, oh, a lot of the quests that you get from the fixers, half of them tell you to like do stealth, and I'm like, all right, cool. I go up into the area, or I get near the area. I just kill a couple of guys with cyber hacking attacks, and while their net runners are tracing me, I just run the fuck away until it says that their trace failed. I run back, I kill a couple more. I play a game with it. You know, it takes a little bit of time, but I get like crazy good experience, and I get bonuses for the stealthiness of what I'm doing.
Nice.
I also use a lot of cameras and just like use cameras from a distance and kill a couple of people. This is the other thing I love about being like such an overpowered cyber hacker at this point in time. I had a mission where I had to transport this vehicle that somebody else was driving, and then I'm supposed to shoot at them. I said, no. Fuck that. Because I can hack vehicles and just make them explode. So why would I shoot at the other people and waste time? So instead of doing that, I just highlighted the vehicle, set to explode, waited for my RAM to come back up, looked at the next one, set it to explode. It's great. You just let it self-destruct. You let the car self-destruct. You can also make the emergency brake kick in, which is really funny. If you're dealing with too many close vehicles, you set the emergency brake on one of them off, suddenly one less vehicle. It's just fun. It's just a good time. I'm having fun, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Also, yes, I am playing as female V because, number one, I like Jeremy Lee. She is a good voiceover friend who has done some amazing work, and I want to support her. But also, I like the Judy romance option. And I'm currently... Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, the updates that came with Phantom Liberty and after Phantom Liberty gave you more options for your romance partner. So I've literally been going on dates with Judy, and it is the saddest goddamn thing because she comes over to my house and then we dance. And what do they play on the radio every time we dance? The opening theme song to Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Yeah, they play This House. Judy's just dancing like crazy, and I'm over here in the corner crying. I am a weeping, sobbing mess. Ah! So yeah, that
anime was so good, but so heart-wrenching.
Oh, my V is wearing David's jacket. Yeah. And using Rebecca's shotgun. Oh my
Which is a
God.
pretty damn good
Guts is a fucking amazing gun.
gun.
I started using that shotgun because I was like, I have to level up my solo abilities, my solo skill tree, which requires you to use like certain weapons and things like that. And I started blasting fools left and right with fucking shotguns, and I'm like, oh my God, this is great because I have the burst ability where I can quick dash forward, and I just unlocked the ability to air dash. Ha! So double jump and air dash, I am invincible. But anyhow, it's a lot of fun. Good times. I may stream it when I get to the point of Phantom Liberty because I don't think you have romance options in Phantom Liberty. Yeah. Just know that when I had my sexy time scenes with Judy, we were doing the no pants dance. There was nothing covering anything. It was just all out there to see. If you need a specific description of what was going on, might I suggest checking out the very cultured plus-size elf.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving to the next topic. I've really been enjoying Cyberpunk lately. Oh, hey Moon, you want to talk Sailor Moon? It's Sailor Moon Cosmos, my guy. Does that mean we're finally going to see Iron Mouse in animation form?
I would enjoy that.
I'm like, come on, Sailor Iron Mouse. That's where she got the name from, my guy. Because I think that was Cosmos, not Stars. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about it.
Okay.
I like giving Moon something because like Fenris is gonna have another story right after this because of course we're giving him the Gundam story.
Of course, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Netflix began streaming a trailer on Thursday for its upcoming release of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Cosmos, the movie. The two-part anime film project adapting the final Shadow Galactica arc of Naoko Takeuchi's original Sailor Moon manga. The films will debut on Netflix. Yeah, Naoko Takeuchi's original Sailor Moon manga. The films will debut August 22nd. Both films opened in Japan on June 2023. Tomio Takahashi directed both films at Toei Animation. Kazuyuki, I think this is all just backstory shit. Yeah, but cool. I actually don't know a ton about Sailor Moon, even though I've seen it when I was really young. I remember seeing it.
It was one of the earliest. It was one of the earliest anime that I. Oh, you haven't seen Sailor Moon since they released Crystal? Oh, yeah. Going back to Jeremy Lee then for a second there, she voices Sailor Venus in the dub.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, if I remember right, I think it's still on Crunchyroll. I think Sailor Moon Crystal is on Crunchyroll, if I remember correctly. And Sailor Moon Crystal is very much in line with the manga, not the old anime, which kind of had a lot of episodes. And like, I would say up until you got to RS and Super S, there was so much filler with Sailor Moon back in the day. But honestly, if you didn't read the manga, you didn't know it was filler. Just felt like, oh yeah, very Monster of the Weeky kind of stuff, sprinkled in with some of the overarching plot.
But yeah, it seems interesting. The animation is fucking god tier for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Iron Mouse is the little pink-haired girl that came in on an umbrella, right?
No.
No?
No, that's Chibi Moon.
You said there's a Sailor Iron Mouse, yeah?
There is. She's not very prominent in Sailor Moon. She's not a main focal
Wow,
point.
okay.
It's a background extra kind of character. But yeah,
I gotcha.
there is a Sailor and Iron Mouse. You're looking at, if you're talking about the pink-haired girl that looks like she has 2 cones instead of buns, that's Chibiusa. That's literally Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon's daughter from the future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why does every anime have something to do with time travel?
Not everyone, but this, you got to realize this happened back in like the early 90s, my guy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Fenris, you want to talk about The Good Gundam, as I titled it? I go, The Good Gundam has a new trailer.
So, Gundam Requiem for Vengeance revealed a new trailer and a release date.
It was fucking awesome. I missed the release date. Damn it.
October 17th.
Yes!
It's going to be streaming only on Netflix, which, not surprising. Oh, the trailer was so good. A lot more action compared to the other trailer. A lot more exposition, get decent amount of backstory, and so much battle damage. Like, so much. It's also good to see that they brought a Zaku 1 into this. Even though it's just for like half a second, you see it escorting a truck down the road through the convoy. But the shit you can do with Unreal Engine 5 is mind-boggling. Because this 6-part series is just all 100% Unreal. Both in the literal gaming engine and metaphorical, like, holy fuck. But it's also, because of this, they're also bringing in the assets to Fortnite for a collaboration. Which, not surprising. I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's only a month and a half, roughly. Sorry, 2.5 months. I am getting my fucking months mixed up here. 2.5 months, man. And then I'm gonna binge this shit.
This looks phenomenal. But
And
I mean,
the
it's
gun-
unreal. It's unreal. So yeah. And yeah, the Gundam looks terrifying. I love it.
They painted such a holy fuck light. Like, it is meant to be, and shows that how terrifying the Gundam was to your typical soldier on the ground, because the thing is basically invincible in their eyes.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right with that. I'm seriously looking forward to this. I am seriously looking forward to it. It's so damn good.
I have a feeling your brother and I are going to get into a voice call and just nerd out over it.
Well, no, we're all gonna nerd out over it
Very
because I'm
likely.
gonna watch this. I am watching this.
Fair enough.
Also, what's really funny? Okay, so I showed my brother the solo leveling, and I go, "You've met some of these people," and he goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, you met Jin Woo-sung." He goes, "I have." I go, "Yeah, it was Moon." He was like, "I don't think I met Moon." I was like, "No, Moon came over, dude.
Yep.
We had
Several
steak in
times,
your
actually.
living room.
We had steak in your living room. We put a tent up.
Mhm.
You know, we did a couple of things." But I think at that point, he's like, "No, I don't remember meeting anyone named Moon." I was like, "Ah," and I go, "I say your real name," and he goes, "Oh." I go, "Yeah, that's Moon."
Fair enough.
He goes, "Yeah," because you introduced yourself by your regular
As James, yeah.
Yeah, you okay? Well, I wasn't gonna out your government
My
name.
first
man.
name's fine. My first name is fine.
All right, James Crabtree.
Besides, there are a million Jameses. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, our dad's name is James. So, yeah. All right. So, now it's time for us to start talking about anime. Let's start with the stuff. We're going to be talking about the weekly anime. We're going to start from Wednesday, then we're going to talk about Friday, then we're going to talk about today. So it's going to start Oshi No Ko. We move on to, Slime, and then we're going to talk about today's episode of Tower of God. That being said, though, guys, if you have not watched these, or we are putting up the spoiler tag for you so you know that we're talking about this. And since we're doing it at the end, we want to thank everybody who came and does not want to get spoiled on the episodes of the week that we are talking about. And thank you all so much for coming by and hanging out with us for this bit of Anime Church with the nerdy news. We hope you really appreciated it, and we look forward to reading your comments in the chat or later on in the comments down below. We really do appreciate it if you would give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. We do this every single Sunday. That's why it's called Anime Church, because we're here Sunday afternoon to talk and spread the nerdy word. The word of the nerd. There we go. I like that. That's a good catchphrase. The word of the nerd. Anime Church. We spread the word of the nerd. How did it take me this long to figure that out? Anyhow, let's get to talking. It's spoiler time. All right.
Which one we starting with?
Oh, he wasn't listening at all. If you had been paying any attention to what I was saying before, you would have heard that I said we're going to start chronologically. So Wednesday, then Friday, then Sunday. So we're starting with Oshi No Ko.
Okay.
It's so
So
funny
you
that I said that
think I
very,
remember
very
when
clearly.
all these things come
and I was
out?
like, yeah, he absolutely did not hear us. Oh, it's good. It's good. I love it. Keep being you, man. Keep being you, Moon Moon.
I do my best.
Damn it, Moon Moon.
Guys, have you ever forgotten how to gravity before?
Yes.
No, the problem is that gravity has not forgotten me. All right. So, yeah, we're talking about Oshi No Ko. I love how much you had to say about this when Fenris, you were like, holy shit. Like, I was like, this is the one that we were all waiting on, because this is when everybody was like, oh my God, the drama with the writing. Nah. That was
Nah.
child's play.
Nah.
That was the side shit. Now we're getting to the real stuff. Oh, this is what I was waiting on. Who wants to describe this episode? It can't be me. I've talked way too much this whole freaking stream.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
All right, go for it.
So, let's see. It starts with us. I gotta remember where it started because I watched 2 episodes back to back.
This episode starts.
Second episode ended with.
This episode starts with her at the theater, at the play. It picks up exactly where the previous episode left off.
Right. The manga creator, chick. She is at the theater. She's watching everything, and then she's like, "Oh shit, this is really good."
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Well, she was thinking of it. Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily. She was.
Fair.
She realized that it was different from what she had imagined, of just like a stationary kind of play that you would see at like a high school stationary stage and all that.
Which still, she got, because the producer for the play for her manga is also the same producer for the play she saw. He's like, "Oh shit, she's here! Bring her here! Bring her here! I need to talk to her immediately." And then they're in a room, they're talking. He's sitting there. He starts with the usual spiel that he normally would go through, which is, "Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. How'd you like it and everything? What do you think about the everything? Blah blah blah." And then she's like, "Honestly, it's very different from what I had imagined." And he was about to continue, but then he remembered what Aqua had told him, what Aqua had said to him, and then he got down to brass tacks and said, "Okay, I'm gonna cut the shit right here."
He did.
I don't really think you should be writing this. He didn't say those words exactly, but it basically came down to that. And she was like, "Excuse you?" at first. But then it came down to a bit more talking, a bit more back and forth, and it was like, oh, well, okay, fair. And then the producer also told her that the same scriptwriter they had for her manga was the same scriptwriter for the show she just.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of changed her mind a little bit.
I
So,
also want to point out the cool moment in this part where he's like, "Hey, I have to think about over 100 different people whose jobs depend on me, and I'm ready to." And they bleep this out, but he did. I heard the actual words in Japanese.
I'm ready
to suck a
man's
geezer's dick or two. I am ready to suck the dick of a geezer or two. And she's like, "How rude!" And he's like, "That's how serious this shit is." And I'm like,
"Oh yeah,
damn." Well, props
I
to this guy.
I completely interpreted that as I'm gonna fuck the shit out of what I have to.
No, suck a dick. Suck a dick. That was what it was.
Yeah, there's a big difference between I'm fucking someone and I'm begging for everything. Let me get down on my knees and please give me what I need. Big difference. But
brings a whole new meaning to the juice is
literally
loose.
the lines. That is literally the lines he said. I am willing to suck a dude's dick to make sure shit gets done and people can
specifically
get paid.
A geezer's dick.
Yeah, it was specifically an old man's dick. Yes. And
anyhow,
they continue back and forth for a little bit, and then she's like, "Okay, we'll continue, but I need to be in the conference calls and in the room when all the writing happens," which was what should have happened from the start. But you know,
yes and no. Yes and no. They do address why they do it the way they do it, because sometimes if you have the author and the writer, if you have the creators together, sometimes it's one of two outcomes. Either they're going to be really good friends or they're going to have the worst relationship ever. They're going to sour with each other and it's just going to be fighting.
They actually did the opposite. They were pretty happy with each other. They were having such a great time making stuff. So great. The play was completely different and relies very heavily on the actors to be able to act really well, one of which everyone is unsure about, one actor in particular. So the pressure was definitely felt when we got back to the actors and they saw the new script and they were like, oh.
I will say this as the person that watches a lot of reactions to stuff and like watches a lot of the Oshi No Ko reactions. I loved watching everybody just go, "Oh, okay, so this guy's gonna have trouble. Aqua's gonna be good," and I'm just like sitting there. They haven't been listening to Aqua this whole time, have they?
Oh no!
And then it gets to Aqua, and he's not giving the director what he needs for his performance. Yeah.
Aqua's acting is, in the way I would describe it, as Aqua's acting is like more manipulative.
Yeah,
he manipulates how you interpret the things he is saying or how people react to what he is doing.
He is manipulating it to
act TM.
He's manipulating the scene in order to pull out the performance that he believes is the correct performance, which is not the same thing as emotional acting. Like, he's used to thinking about it in terms of, I need to make this look like the source material. If I can imitate that, then we're good. But that, just imitating the source material isn't going to cut it anymore for this.
It'll only get you so far.
Yeah.
You need to put the actual emotion into it. You need to put the actual character into it. It's not just, oh, I'm sad in this moment. It's, oh my God, my queen just fucking died.
Yeah.
And
so
you have to get that emotion across.
Here's where the conundrum now lies.
So both Melt and Aqua are actually going to have a tough time, and only
Kana.
Everyone can kind of see it, but only Kana, Kane, she was the only one who was actually able to say it and explain it. She was a bit rude in the way she did it, but she was also very accurate.
That's just Kana. That's just how Kana does things.
No one was gonna fix it.
Yeah,
fair,
that's how Kana does things. She just comes off as slightly rude, but she means well.
And it's a new challenge for Aqua, but she also gives Aqua some help. She tells him how, a couple ways people get into the emotions. how she cries as she thinks about something very sad, or more specifically, she uses a specific question: what would happen, or how
What
would you feel
do?
if your mother died? Yeah, what would you do if your mother died? Which, of course,
Immediately
flashbacks.
triggers Aqua, and then she
Mhm.
gives the opposite advice too, of
Mm-hmm.
being
Which
happy.
was just, yeah, think about times where you were happy.
It's really messed
then
up.
that
It's really
triggers
messed up that the
another thing.
trauma is okay, but happiness is not.
Yes. He's happy that the dark side of him comes out and says, "Are you feeling happy right now? Do you remember what fucking happened? Why the fuck are you happy?"
You don't get
Survivor's
to be
Guild
happy.
And,
is a
yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the other thing I love about this series. Like, whether it's the trauma associated with online hate leading to attempted unaliving, or just the trauma of the end of the first episode of Oshi No Ko, just that general trauma, like that hit everybody. The audience was in tears for that. It was insane. And then and then you've got survivors trauma here. Everybody carries their own little bits of trauma from this. And Oshi No Ko is really, really good with dealing with trauma in a way that is sensitive to the needs of that trauma. Like they don't get gun shy about the trauma. They don't there's just so much that
They
is
bring it
just
to
kind of
light in a
show it
way
for
that's
what it is
tasteful.
in an
It's tasteful.
interpretation.
Yeah.
And it's because like it's not necessarily Aqua telling himself that he can't be happy. It's the part of himself that remembers all the shit that
It's
happened
Goro.
to him
It's
and
Dr.
saying
Goro.
there's no reason to be happy.
You don't
Yeah.
get to be happy.
Not
You
even
didn't
technically
save her. Like it says
Yeah.
it's more of a how dare you? You don't get to be happy.
Mhm.
You couldn't save Aqua. What the fuck are you doing trying to
save
be happy? Or sorry, I don't know why I said Aqua. God damn it.
because he can't save himself either.
Yeah, he can't save
Fair
himself.
enough.
But yeah, he didn't save I, so how dare you be happy? You're not allowed to be happy.
Mhm.
You live for revenge now. That's all you get. And it's like that is such a sad existence, dude. Such a sad existence.
And then after that, Aqua starts he almost throws up. He gets really dizzy, but he really just starts having a panic attack because his body is kind of attacking himself based on the feelings he was feeling. That is
Yeah.
essentially,
And
and he's
that's a
starting
real
to
thing,
kind of
guys.
shut down a little bit.
I like how well handled this was, because that I've had panic attacks, and anybody who's had panic attacks can tell you that was handled very well. I mean, panic attacks, the way that your body behaves and everything can differ from person to person. But if you're going to do a representation of a general idea of a panic attack, that's pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the detail that they went through with the animation and the sound design here was just fucking beautiful. Once again, Oshi No Ko knocking it out of the park.
Absolutely. Then with that happening, everyone of course gets concerned. He tries to take a rest out in the hallway for a bit. And I forgot her name. What was her name? Chick.
Akane.
Chick. I forgot her name.
Akane?
No, the other one. No, the
No,
one who
that's
sits with him out in the
Akane.
hall.
Yeah, that's Akane.
That's Akane. Kana is the red hair.
Kana, red hair.
Oh, my
Akane,
bad.
blue hair.
Their names are too fucking similar. Anyways, Akane goes out into the hall with him after someone has to be like, "Hey, aren't you his girlfriend? Shouldn't you kind of go sit with him?" And she's like, "Oh shit."
Well, I mean, at the
She
same
does
time,
that.
he
She
might
goes to
need
sit
to
with
be
him.
alone. You don't know.
That is fair. That is fair. Some people do need to be alone for some things. Some people
Process
don't. It's-
shit by themselves,
everyone's
man.
different.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's
everyone's
different.
But she goes to him, gets him some water. He's of course appreciative, and she's like, "So, hey, maybe we should call your not producer,
Your family.
manager, and your family, and get them to come pick you up. And he's sitting there like, no, can't have that. My sister's
They
happy.
don't need to
I'm
know.
not about to drag her down to my level.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It's-
my god.
Yeah.
Just based on the opening, I know where things are gonna go with Ruby for this season. All of us know, because based on that opening, they're going that far in, and I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Mhm. And then let's see. Instead of that, Aqua says to call the director who
Rotunda.
they worked on that one project when he was kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
when he was a kid.
The one he
and
asked
so
him
he
to,
comes-
the one where he asked him like, "Hey man, would you consider raising me?" And everybody lost their minds. They thought like raising him as his dad or whatever. No, teaching him the ropes. Anyhow,
hold on.
oh,
After that, they
Andrea,
go to
we don't
the-
talk about politics here. We don't talk about
Yeah,
politics
no.
at all. No politics talk. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, continuing with Oshi No Ko.
Yeah, they go to the director's place, and he let's see. Aqua is resting at the director's place. He's sleeping essentially. And Akane talks with the director,
Mhm.
who kind of tells her a little bit of what's been going down. He doesn't expressly say who these people are, but just says that his mom died. It was a tragic accident and stuff like that.
Oh, he doesn't say it was her
And,
mom or anything like that. He just says that.
No, he says that.
he
he
does
says it was
not
his
say
mom.
that. No, he doesn't say it was their mom.
He said it was a tragic situation.
Yeah, at no point in time did he reveal any. She pieced together on her own who I was in relation to them.
Yeah, he
Rotunda
said
didn't s-
mom though.
No, he didn't.
I'm going to pull up High Dive right now.
He purposefully did not
Okay.
say. Purposefully did not say anything about mom or them be or her or I being a mother.
He didn't say anything about I. He said
Yeah.
mom, but he didn't say anything about I.
What do you?
He said something tragic happened, or it was a tragic incident. His mother died, and
No, he didn't
had to watch
mention.
it or
He didn't mention
something like
anything
that.
about his mom, about Aqua's mother dying or anything like
I
that.
got everything pulled up right now. I'm watching through it again.
Okay. We'll get going for the play.
Either way,
Daddy no
yeah,
too.
either way,
What the fuck?
either way, they talked about that, and then Akane is sitting with Aqua as he's resting, and then she's just thinking. She's thinking about everything that's happened with Aqua, how he feels attracted or so close to I and everything, and all of that. And then suddenly, she's like, "Oh shit, I is his mother." Oh.
Okay. It starts because in his sleep he's having nightmares and he's calling out I's name.
Yes.
And that's what triggers it.
So, verbatim from the subtitles, long ago he got caught up in an extremely terrible incident. Come on, hurry up. And when he recalls it, he sometimes ends up like this.
So there was no mention.
And then it
of
goes into talking
a
about
mom or
PTSD
anything. Yeah.
and him going through counseling.
Okay.
Okay. So mother wasn't mentioned at all. Any mention of a mom or anything like that wasn't mentioned at all by the director. She pieced that together because he was saying I's name in his sleep. And she started piecing things together because she was like, previously in her building of the I character, she was like, what if she had secret children?
Yeah, she had a
or a
secret
secret
child.
child.
And she
And then she-
remembered how surprised he was.
And it like pulled everything together for her, and it's like everything just kind of clicked and fell in place. Yeah. I had to get you on that one because this is a very, very specific thing that is very important. Like, she figured that out on her own. She didn't get hints from other people. They were trying to not let the secret slip as well. So I wanted to put that out there because it is very specific, her learning on her own as opposed to her being lightly told or nudged that way. I mean, she kind of was, but not to that degree. And that's the only reason why that part is the contentious part. And I was like, no, hang on. It might have been where you watched it, too. The subtitles could have been wrong.
Could have been.
Yeah. So I'm not putting the blame on you for this. I immediately, when I heard that, I was like, where did you see those subtitles? What place is doing the subs? What place is doing the subs? They're doing them so wrong. Anyhow.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yep.
where was I? But yeah, she pieces it together that I is his mom, and she's like, "Oh shit, he's been through some shit."
Well, it's like when he wakes up and looks at her and everything, he's like, "What the hell? Why are you crying?" And she's
Oh,
like,
you mean the part that I was getting to that you didn't let me say?
all right, fuck. I thought that's what you were talking
Come on.
about.
No, because she has the realization first, and then he wakes up, and
Gotcha.
she's like, "Oh, hey, I just imagined something and it would be terrible if it were true. So hey, I'm here for you." And he's like, "Oh, I got you." And then she gives him a hug, and then the worst thing, about knowing what happens later on, is noticing that he's not smiling or even reacting when she hugs him.
Yep. It's so funny how many people are like on the Akane best girl and like the full Akane ship. And I'm like, are you guys really paying attention to what Aqua's doing right here? Because he has no emotional response to this. Like, I get that Aqua is shut down pretty emotionally. But yeah, he has no real response to this other than just, okay. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyhow.
And that's where it ends, I think.
That's pretty much where it ends. Well, there is a shot of the director's computer and it has a folder on it marked Aqua.
And
there's also
marked as Oshi No.
Yeah, Oshi No, which I know if you're keeping up with the manga, you know what those two folders are because they are folders containing files for a specific thing and a specific purpose that is way later. But it's very relevant to where we're at in the manga today. Yeah, super cool. All right. That is Oshi No Ko. We're going to move on to Slime. I guess I'll field that one. And let's talk a little bit about our thoughts on Oshi No Ko as a group as opposed to summing up the episode. This was an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. This was what I was looking
definitely.
when they announced season 2. This was the episode I was most looking forward to. I wanted to know how they were going to handle this. But yeah, absolute banger, 10 out of 10 episode for me.
Like I was saying before the episode started to Richie, reading it's one thing in the manga. Seeing it actually animated hits so many more notes.
I am disagreeing with some people that I saw commenting. They were like, "Oh, the impact of the shot in the manga was so much better because of how it took too long for Aqua to react to what Kana said." I'm like, no, they took a moment because they were showing her saying it, and then they do the close-up of his eye literally right after that going wide. Just because they don't do it frame for frame how the manga panels were laid out doesn't make it worse. Like, y'all need to, like, too many people are like sticklers for obnoxious details that don't need to be overly scrutinized. like I said, these armchair critics who've never made anything, who've never created anything. All right.
Yeah, easily 10 out of 10 for me.
All right. So, Moon, what's your rating? Your rating?
Oh, definitely 10 out of 10.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Good. No, go for it.
A lot
go
of the
for
shots in it were absolutely amazing. I really like the way they did the Shadow Doctor showing up.
Oh,
Being
yeah.
like, really? And even just the close up of Akane's face when she realizes everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's the way they drew her eyes and everything, especially because she had the stars show back up, because that was the memory of Ai, and it was just everything she had learned from that point. It was just the sudden realization just showing up and just like, oh shit.
It's even funnier when you actually realize what the stars in the eyes signify. That's the other thing that people have been talking about, is like how good eye detail is in this show, because you go over to Kana and she's got like a fucking galaxy in her eye. It's so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Time to move over to slime. Slime time. Now that we've had an emotional journey, it's time for a little bit of laughter. This is the episode. I love some of the comments to reactions to this episode. They're like, see all those people that quit watching Slime because they didn't like all the meetings, and now here we are. We're in the good stuff, the fun stuff, the funny stuff, and we get a good balance between like action, comedy, and meetings. But yeah, this was the pick on Benimaru episode. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Basically, we get some flashback about the Tengu and a brief description of the Tengu. We get some talk of the flashback to when Benimaru and company went to talk to the Tengu, the conflicts that they had. Then Mommy Dearest showing up after Benimaru stopped the Tengu representative from attacking because she doesn't know how to control her own strength. And it turns out this girl is good old Hakuro's daughter this whole time. And we get a flashback to younger Hakuro. We actually get to see Byakura Araki. For those of you who read the light novels, that name should be very, very familiar to a specific character who shows up later. It's so much more fun to watch this knowing where certain characters are going to show up later. And it's like, I know that character. It's so neat. And so we get that. Then we go back to the moment with Rimuru and the crew, and then the letter reading, which is just great because she put Hakuro's letter first. So she starts reading the letter, and it's the one addressed to Hakuro. Then Shuda reads the rest of it. Oh my goodness. And then Hakuro shows up, and this was my favorite part from watching some of the reactors. They're like, oh my god, best dad, shows up, not even phased, steps up and starts being a dad immediately. More people need to be like that. And I'm like, yeah, Hakuro is father material. You need to emulate that. Hakuro is such a good dude, but he's like, yeah, I'll help you with your training, and there's no way, my training's pretty harsh, blah blah blah. And he goes, and then you win Benimaru's hand, and Benimaru's like, the fuck, my guy? He's like, what? Are you too good for my daughter? Like, this whole thing of, he's like, you've known her for 5 minutes. He's like, and she's adorable. It's, like, it's kind of the vibe that you get there. I love how Hakuro just immediately steps into the dad role. It's like, you've only known her for 5 minutes, and it was the greatest 5 minutes of my life. Some shit like that. It's very good, very funny. And this leads us to talking about harems and how difficult the dating life is for some people who have it too good, who have it too bad. And Soe just bumping in and going, "What are you talking about? Women are easy."
Yeah.
I love the look that Shion and Shuna gave him. He's like,
She's
he was just
"Excuse
like,
you?"
he's like, yeah, it took no time at all for me to get that girl Knight to like me. Like, motherfucker. This
I still
motherfucker-
want to know what he did.
Like, we are not doing this scene and all of its glorious comedy justice. You need to watch the episode if you haven't. It's really good. It's super funny. I especially like the point where Reamer is talking about Benimaru's harem, and Gopta's like, my guy, you shouldn't throw bricks if you live in a glass house. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And he's like, what? And then it pans over Shion, Shuna, Diablo. And Diablo's like, I'm not romantically interested. I just love him. Thank you for that distinction, Diablo.
Yes.
Anyhow, so yeah, they make like this whole thing. I also love that comment from oh god, I can't Albus. She's like, if I can't be your legal wife, I'll settle for being your concubine. And Rimuru goes, I guess this is how we handle it. And that just basically, it leaves the girls to interpret, okay, we're just going to battle over who can win Rimuru's heart between Shuna and Shion. I'm like, no. And
Not
Rimuru's
just
just
them.
like, I have no idea what's going on here, but I just feel like I should run. I was like, slime senses are tingling. It's great. Yeah, that's pretty much where the episode ends. It kind of sticks on this little bit of shenanigans the entire time. But that's okay. It was some much needed shenanigans. So there we go. Thoughts? Rating?
Definitely hilarious. I enjoyed it a whole lot.
Yeah. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to see Hakuro go to the freaking to the Tengu village and see the woman again. But that's
Mhm.
just me.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
That's just me. Or have Rimuru go there, rename her, give her some fucking magic tools.
You mean husband and
Mhm.
wife going back together?
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Have Rimuru go back there, give her some magic tools or some shit.
I don't
Let
know
her
about
and
that.
Hakuro
I
have
don't know
fun.
about that, but if you think Hakuro's not going to meet up with his sweetheart, his high school sweetheart, as it were, you're out of your damn
Mhm.
mind. And yes, Andrea, if you've checked out any of the other streams that aren't these, you would know that I've talked about Connor. Hey, all right. Ratings. What are we giving this episode as far as rating?
8.
I already gave mine 8 out of 10.
All right, I give it an 8. I think we're all around 8. This was a good episode. Not the best episode that could happen in season 3, but definitely a very good episode. We're getting there.
Oh yeah,
We're
a
getting,
lot of fun.
waiting. You know who I'm waiting on? I'm waiting for Gay. Gay. He's
Hell
gonna
yeah.
show up soon. It's gonna be so funny. All right.
Oh, and every time we hear his name, all of us, doesn't
Gay!
matter where we are, just
Gay. It's gonna be so funny. All right. That being said, time to move on to our last one. Fenris, take it away. Tell us about Tower of God today.
So, opens with a scene of Bomb, or are we calling it Viol in this?
Violi. Yeah, Viol.
So, Viol in a kind of a crater in a wall with the test administrator kind of mocking him, as they always do. And then it cuts over to Yiwa's room and her getting taken over by something. Can't remember what the fuck that thing was called. I know they went into more detail in the webtoon, and they didn't really go into much on this, which, then again, anime, you don't need as much exposition with things that will foreshadowing not last long. And from there, it goes to Jaw Wagner and his entire crew taking over room after room after room. And then the betrayals happen, and that's where everything starts going downhill in the episode.
Ramen girl.
Yeah, Nia, the ramen girl. Turns out she's been working with Flower Head guy. Can't remember his name for the life of me.
Douchey
Basically,
McDoucheburger.
basically just selling out regulars and rankers to try to did it with good intentions, but she still sold people out. Did it so that way the business that she was working at could continue without being harassed because the old woman that runs the business saved her, took care of her, made her feel like everything was okay after all of her friends left her when they got to floor 20, I think this is.
Yeah, this is
And
20.
yeah, and well, Douche Canoe decides to broadcast it all over the communicator to Jaw Wagner and then proceed to make fun of her, telling her that he was never going to wipe the deck clean, and proceeded to literally punch her to death. Oh, well, Jaw could hear it all, and he was slowly losing his mind. Cut back to the administrator and Viole, however the fuck you pronounce that, going with their banter, lining up to do their final pass to try to get him to win his test or fail his test, whatever the fuck that guy had. Yeah. And Prince was betrayed by Flower Hair Guy, because Flower Hair Guy is tired of his dad, or Prince's dad running everything. And also turns out the Flower Hair Guy was a ranker at one point, or regular, I forget what they fucking call him.
Regular rankers have gone all the way up the tower.
Thank you.
At least
I keep
as far
forgetting
up
the
as
difference.
Or at least as far up as Jihad allows them.
I keep forgetting the fucking difference.
Regulars are still taking their test. Rankers have already done the tower.
So he was a former regular who borrowed money, much like Jaw Wagner did, ended up failing to continue to climb the tower, and then got roped into working for the organization. He still harbors resentment. Typical fucking revenge backstory bullshit. And that's why he was told by the big boss to help his son climb the tower, because his son is the most precious thing in the world to him. Which Flowerhead Guy just found ironic, because some big bad mobster who kills everybody when they don't pay up has a heart and actually loves his son, but he should be, unable to love, and typical villain fucking copium.
Yeah.
So he decides to betray Prince, kill him, kill his father, take over the organization, that type of bullshit.
Yeah, how'd that go for him?
He got his ass handed to him.
Oh yeah.
After John Wagner burst into the tests between the administrator and Viol, stole the connector chip, basically promised Viol, hey, I'll give this to you if you help save my friends and help me get revenge. So Viol does Viol stuff and kills shit.
Like, literally, he just fucking owns them. This was the episode I was really looking forward to, as far as finally we get a brief look at how strong he is now. We could call him Bam, I guess, if you want, but he's going as Viola Grace. Could not save Ramen Girl. She got punched to death, sadly.
Over the communicator, which provoked Jaw Wagner to start all this.
Yeah. Bro is lucky that he forgave him. Bro is super lucky, because he should be the next smear on the floor.
He broke his arm and continued to step on it and beat the shit out of him. Just dude did not deserve the forgiveness.
I also like that Bomb straight up said to her, "I'm not interested in your body," which made part of her personality come out. And she was about to yell, and he reaches in and pulls the fucking worm thing out of her, and then disintegrates that bitch. And I'm just like, damn.
Like I said, no exposition needed for something that's not going to last.
Yeah, we're talking about Tower of God, man.
I'm trying to not do my typical. This person did this. Fuck this shit up. Okay, that was it. I'm actually trying to go into detail here.
Yeah.
So that way he doesn't take it from me again. It's a learning process. I'm working through it.
I tried to be as vague as possible on slime because I wanted you guys to have a chance to jump in, but y'all didn't, I guess. So
I was while you're going through, so I was trying to think of how I can do this. I know I'm fucking. It's a learning curve for me, goddammit. I'm used to like my 10-second synopsis.
I'm trying to let you guys have a full 5 minutes to just run through and tell it. And if there's something that, like, if there's a cool part that I want to like jump in and share with you, like you guys, like, all right, we've got one person who's the lead, but the other two people can jump in and comment and commentate about like certain instances that they found really cool, or if we want to go on about a specific moment that we were like, oh man, yeah, and just go off on a tangent for about 2 minutes about like how cool this is. Like, absolutely, I want to do that. Absolutely. Fenris, I know you weren't there this week. I don't believe, yeah, you weren't there this week. But literally, at the beginning of the light novel stream on Monday, we had a 30-minute actual conversation about Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah. I had actually messaged you on Discord earlier that day from my phone because Thunderstorm took out my power for the day.
Yes, I remember that. I remembered that. But like, we had like literally a 30-minute discussion about actual Mushoku Tensei. Characters in Mushoku Tensei and stuff like that. Didn't even get started on reading. We actually were talking about like the anime and like further on in the anime, we were talking about certain stuff, and then Moon and I are having to walk on eggshells to be like, well, you'll have to watch.
Can't say that. Can't say this. Can't say this.
Say that. There's so many things. There are so many things about the end of Mushoku Tensei season 2 that are just like, we can't talk about that. But yeah, all right. So let's get back to Tower of God.
Yeah. One thing I did glance over before the end
Go for it.
is the scene with Rob Devil. Realized that his lie was exposed because he was in front of the real right arm devil.
I remember.
I wish they would have gotten to more. I wish they would have expanded on that more because that was just satisfying to read in the webtoon.
If God let you down, then go to the devil.
That's so good. All right, there we go. What do you guys rate this episode of Tower of God?
I give it a good 7.5.
Okay. I'm at an 8.
I only give it 7.5 because I know what's coming up.
Yeah, that's also true. Moon?
I'm probably going to give it a 9. It was a really good episode. And just seeing how overpowered Bomb has gotten, especially because he was in that crater in the wall, and he was like, well, that sucked. That was all the expression you saw.
On that third like pitch or whatever, like how he like came back at the examiner and just pushed the examiner into the corner
using the examiner's own techniques
after only seeing them once. Bomb is insane, my guy.
Oh yeah. And then just the way it was like, I have no interest in your body.
Yeah, that was great.
God.
Yeah, we talked about that. That was fun.
Oh.
Alrighty. Well, guys, that's it. We have finished. Sorry for how late it ran over. Sometimes it happens, especially when you've got a ComicCon happening the exact freaking weekend. Don't worry, guys. In a couple months, we're going to be doing this all over again because in October, we have New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there we go, guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week, and of course, seeing you tomorrow for the light novel streams. Hopefully, we'll all be on. It's a Shem reading this Monday, so Shem is gonna carry us. I think we finished Volume 1, correct? Am I losing my mind? We finished Volume 1.
That's
Moon?
a Moon question.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
we
we
did.
finished Volume 1. Awesome. Okay. That being said, guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking out Anime Church. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
And I am Fenrir Saru, your patron saint of snackos and
Okay.
alcohol.
And once again, thank you for coming by Anime Church, where, of course, nerd is the word. Spread
And
the
we
word,
fuck
people.
up.
And we fuck up. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.